I messed up. I messed up, boys. I took 2 extra days of leave. So everyone else was already back, and they got 2 extra days of work on top of me. And I have been behind 2 days for the past week and a half.
Listen up, maggots. This is the Grouch coming at you loud and clear with another edition of the Weekend Warriors podcast. This is the place for real, no bullshit talk on the harsh realities and irreverent humor around military life. So sit the fuck down, strap in, and get ready for a raw, no-holds-barred discussion. This is the Weekend Warriors. So tonight, we got Brady, we got Steven, and we got working late nights. Is everybody doing good?
Yeah, man.
Brady, how was your day?
It was pretty solid. It was stressful, but this is the life anymore. But it was early. I got off work at 1300 today, so you can't really complain about that.
All right.
Work.
Yeah, Steven, remember that thing you used to do?
Yeah.
Sorry. No. I did laundry. I did 2 loads of laundry today.
That's
hey,
work.
Good job. That's work.
That's putting in work.
Now, all right, washed, dried, and folded.
No, I took it out of the dryer when it was still hot, and she folded it while she was watching TV. But, I mean, hey, I put a load of clothes in and then a load of towels, and
We'll count it as work. Maybe a lowercase W, but, work.
Don't let me forget before we leave tonight to take the towels out of the dryer. They're still there.
No, it's work with a capital T for team.
Yes.
Cody, I know you've been having a stressful day. I don't know how much you want to talk about it or not, but
No, I mean it's typical stress, soldiers being soldiers, Marines being Marines.
yeah.
Extra special on that side. But you ever run into that situation where you're like, okay, hey, we're gonna go on block leave, right? We're gonna go. We have everything planned into the future. All the stuff is set in stone. Everything's gonna be kosher when we come off a block leave. We all know in reality that doesn't happen, but we're pretty solid. We're pretty solid here with our scheduling. And I just recently went on summer block leave. Had an amazing time. Recharged my batteries. Decompressed all of the Army angst out of me. But I messed up. Boys. I took 2 extra days of leave. So everyone else was already back, and they got 2 extra days of work on top of me. And I have been behind 2 days for the past week and a half. And that added stress with rolling out to the box has been ultimately the bane of my existence. So lesson learned, come back when everyone else comes back.
Well, no, how do you catch up 2 days anyways? Like,
You don't.
you know,
You don't. 2 days is, even though like we have like screw off days, like in the middle of the week, nothing's really going on. But like from a leadership standpoint, dude, 2 days is massive, at least on admin and planning, all the rest of the stuff. Right. And also, I was greeted coming off a block leave. I opened up my office, and my soldiers, God rest their souls, they covered every single inch of my office in sticky notes.
I saw the pictures.
That takes some time.
I saw the pictures. It was pretty cool.
It looked like a Jackson Pollock meets 3M, and I was like, there's so many sticky notes. All right, don't tell the bean counters how much they fraud, waste, and abuse the sticky notes.
Right.
I'll tell you. It took me 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours pulling sticky notes off of everything. And then once I got it all done, right, I go to open my drawer. Everything in my drawer is covered in sticky notes. They were thorough. They were absolutely thorough, and I commend them for
Attention to detail.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they don't know this yet, but I'm I'm trying to come up with some sort of revenge. I'll use the word revenge. Yeah. Come up with some sort of revenge that will last exactly the same amount of time it took me to take all the sticky notes down. What's even more funny, as I'm starting to like peel sticky notes off of my desk, right? There's still like full pads of my original sticky notes I left.
So they didn't use yours.
Came in with their own fresh shit. You know what? They didn't touch a single thing on my desk, right? Nothing. They just covered everything else, and it was pretty funny. It reminded me of a time. Let me see here. Was it 2020? We were stationed out in Afghanistan, and it was weird. Our fob, our little shop that we were operating out of, had like maybe 40 rolls of Christmas wrapping paper, like in the back of a closet somewhere. All right, well, we're not spending Christmas here. Hopefully, that's what we told ourselves, right? So we waited till the signal officer went home for the night, and we wrapped his entire office in Christmas wrapping paper. Everything, man. Like we wrapped the individual pens that were on his desk, everything, right? Attention to detail. So I think this is probably karma that came full circle of
there you go.
when I messed around with the signal officer, it finally got back to me.
We'll be at your way a little bit later in the year. We skipped out on NTC this year, but instead we're going to 29 Palms for a month and a half. So we go fly some Marines around. That's our 8th this year.
What's fun is all the 29 Palms 4th LAR are actually up here right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
I've been talking to Steve and Grouch here, but it's been quite an experience talking to him, working with him. The very first interaction I had with them was they're like, dude, we're from the same desert, right? Like, this is the Mojave.
Yeah.
29 Palms, NTC is the Mojave. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And they said, why the fuck is it so hot here? It's like, well, welcome to the suck, man.
Yeah.
No, when you say hot, though, like, I mean, what are you talking?
Well, 110 at 7 in the morning. It stays above 100 up until about midnight. It'll get down to 95 at 2 in the morning. And it's just starting right back up.
But at what humidity?
Like nothing humidity.
Yeah. It's 73 degrees with 93% humidity here.
I should open a window. It's hotter inside than it is outside.
Earlier today, it was up in the high 80s at 90% humidity.
Ain't no way. No way. I'll take 120 here in the desert over any of that crap you guys have.
It's completely different.
Hell, down here at Fort Rucker, man, it's like 100 degrees with like, 85, 90% humidity, like all summer here. That's just a normal summer day for us down there. Thunderstorms every night because of the humidity being so high. It's like Florida, man. We're just like North Florida. That's all we are.
We had quite a bit of thunderstorms 2 nights ago. The high altitude static discharge, right? The good desert ones. They're super scary looking skies, right? But wicked hot, and then seeing lightning fire come from the sky. Of course, it was sunset too, so everything looked pretty. It looked pretty. I had to take pictures.
Hell, I've been to NTC 3 times, and it's never rained. It's always hotter than hell and dry. So,
well, I mean, shit, man. Back home in Montana, it was June 15th. You got like 6 inches of snow. Yeah, 6 inches of snow on the ground, June 15th. And then I show up 3 days later, and it's 85.
And it's all gone.
And it's all gone.
I'll take my damn heat and humidity over snow any day of the week.
Oh, you're one of those.
Born and raised in the South, brother. Like I don't know what snow is. I don't like the cold.
I don't mind the cold.
I'll take the white stuff over the heat any day.
No, not being prepared and being out in the cold, that sucks balls.
You can always put on clothes, but you can only take off so much.
Bullshit. I went to Sear in the wintertime, and you couldn't put no clothes on. That was cold as hell, man. I was in that lake, like freezing my ass off. So
you picked a good time to go then.
Oh, it was an experience, man. That was definitely a trip.
Yeah.
Everything was dead, so no nothing to eat. It like no berries or anything. Everything's all dead. Yeah, it's great, man. Southern Alabama, and you wouldn't think Southern Alabama would be cold until you're in the middle of the woods freezing your ass off and tired and running.
Well, the boat motor finally ran today.
Really?
So yeah, so that's a big win. Dude, I don't know if you know, but so I've been rebuilding. Well, to finish rebuilding, my father-in-law gave me his ocean boat. So he bought it 6 years ago, and he started fixing it up and put a fresh coat of paint on the hull, and like bought a whole bunch of new parts and things, and put a motor on it. And then it just sat, and it just kind of didn't get anything done. And so he was going to get rid of it. He asked me if I wanted it, and I said, "Hell yeah!" I rewired a whole bunch of shit. I put all new lights and stuff in, and then she's just about ready. I got some caulking and sealing of windows and things, and a whole lot of cleaning. And I just got to adjust the motor to get to the idle just right, and should be ready.
Well, I got a question for you. Are you gonna rename her? Or
it's already been renamed.
Oh, before you took her out on the ocean?
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't know about naming. Bad luck?
Well, all right, hear me out. So my father-in-law was a Navy guy, submariner, and one of the boats he was on was the Cutlass, and so he named the boat the Cutlass. And I said, well, I don't want this boat to go underwater. That's what the Cutlass did.
I'm gonna reach out.
This boat won't come back up. So it got renamed. It's Noah's Ark, and it's ARC.
I'm gonna reach out to some of my boat warrant friends. I'm gonna be like, hey, isn't it bad luck to rename your boat before the maiden voyage? I didn't realize the Army had so many damn boats until I went to Warrant Officer Candidate School, and I had some boat warrants in there, and they're like, dude, it's like we got more boats than the Navy does. It like blew my mind.
Yeah, shipping containers.
They do troop transport. They do all kinds of shit, man.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, one of the guys I went to candidate school with, he's like, dude, he's been all over the world. He ported in the Philippines and like Japan, and like he's been everywhere. I'm like, what an awesome job that would be.
Yeah, that's what the recruiter never tells you, right? They're always like, you want to be an infantryman, you want to be a scout, you want to fucking.
Yeah, those bastards lied to me, man. I was set to go to the Air Force, right? And I was
lied to?
I was set to go to the Air Force, man. I was like gonna go fly F-16s, and he was like, if you want to fly airplanes, he's like, you don't want to go to the Air Force, man. You want to go to the Army. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you'll be flying F-15s in the Army in no time. I said, okay. And then here I was at Fort Rucker, Alabama. I was like, where's the F-15s? And they were like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, here I am.
My guy's like, see, you want to be like me? I've got cross pistols. You don't want to be like that guy over there. That little blue circle? Yeah, that's not worth anything. You can't do anything with that. You want to be like me and be cross pistols. And I'm like, cool. What does that mean? He's like, yeah, we just drive around, post, and write speeding tickets. No, that's about 10% of 95Bs. The rest of them are combat field units.
Yeah.
They got me coming out of the shopette one morning. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd stopped to get gas, and they got me for a rolling stop coming out of the shopette. $130 for that ticket, man. I was like, you guys don't have anything better to do at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? And they're like, well, Chief, you're a pilot. If you can't see street signs, how do you see the taxiway signs?
Ooh.
I was like, oh, okay. We're gonna play games now, then, aren't we?
Did you see that double yellow you just fucking
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, hey, dude, why did you come back out here? Right, because I was stationed here about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, why'd you come back out here? And I was like, look, dude, it's the desert, right? It is what it is, right? Yeah, it's pretty predictable for the most part. But if you look around, right, I'm 45 miles away from the nearest crackhead walking across the street type deal, right? I'm not a fan of society, right? I don't think any of us really are. That's probably why we chose this profession. But, right, I'm not a fan of fucking society. And Fort Irwin is like the world's largest gated community in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. I like that seclusion type deal. But a lot of people get stir crazy, especially like spouses, families going like an hour in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, dude, you guys are right in the middle of everything, man. Vegas, LA.
I say you're pretty close to Vegas, and I think you're closer to Vegas than you are LA, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you maximize your time on your weekends, you can actually have quite a bit of fun if you want to get off post. Or if not, I mean, yeah, fun on post. It'll work.
Dude, I'll take middle of nowhere in the Northeast over the Sandbox.
I got to figure out why my computer is not working with digital modes on my radio. I'm not getting the audio out of my computer to my radio. It just stopped all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Cable?
No, it's not the cable. It's like my sound card settings got screwed up. It's like I'm not getting enough volume out of my sound card into the radio because it's keying the radio up, but it's not putting any power out on the radio. So
there's always something funky with your radios, man.
Was it working and now it's not?
It was working.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And he didn't change a thing. Not a fucking thing.
Yeah. Not that I know of. Man, I don't know. I'm a CW guy, man. I don't fuck with digital modes. So like,
did you back up your settings?
991.
Yeah, I backed up the settings, but it deleted like all my memories and everything, even though they were saved. When I did the firmware update, it won't load all my memory channels and stuff. So I had to like reformat the card and do it. But it loaded the settings, so I don't know. It was weird.
I've definitely had SD card issues where, like I'll put it in and it'll reject it. And it'll tell me I need to format it. Yeah. And I'll take it out and I'll put it back in and then it'll be fine.
Apparently it doesn't like mono plugs on my Morse paddles either. If you put a mono plug in there, it does not like it at all. So I've had to wire my straight keys where they're like a stereo plug, but I'm only using the tip and the sleeve, or the tip in the first ring or whatever. So it's
tip ring.
It's very finicky. It's got an awesome receiver on it, but it's just it's got some finicky quirks to it.
Fucking Yesu. I say that as I look at my nice, pretty ICOM 7300.
Hey, I am still a Yaesu guy and still love Yaesu. Um, but I don't know about forking out a buttload of money for him again. I bought that 991 and I loved it. Well, still love it, and played around with it on digital for a while, and then one day it just quit working, and so I thought it was me. Or I thought it was my laptop at first, because whenever I'd plug it up, well, I tried 3 different computers. I'd plug it up, and the USB port in the back, nothing. It wouldn't make the little doo-doo at all.
Yeah.
So I finally mailed it off to Yaesu, and they're like, "Yeah, you blew the chip that's on the motherboard that controls the USB, and the only way to replace it, it's a surface mount, and the only way to replace it is to replace the motherboard. It's $640.
Yeah. At
But
that,
about no?
you can,
at that point, you might as well just buy a new radio. You get the
He said-
710 for what? $700? So
they're $850 somewhere around in there right now.
yeah, but Huntsville's next month, and they'll have it for $150 off or something. That's
Yeah.
the best time to buy Yaesu radios when the Hamfests are going on.
And but he's like, or you can use the SUC or SCU 17 or a Signal Link and do the same thing.
You're just switching to an external sound card.
Yeah.
One of my buddies from back home, one of your local guys, Steven, he just bought an FT 710. And I've been telling him for years now, I'm like, quit running 100 watts in FT8. You're going to blow your radio up. He's like, no, man, my antenna can handle it. I'm like, I'm telling you, you're going to blow that thing up. And then he called me one day. He was like, dude, I've had my 710 for 3 days, and it caught on fire. I'm like, what do you mean it caught on fire? He's like, dude, I was running FT8, like remote from my laptop, and I smelled something burning, and I went out, and the radio's like throwing error codes, and it's just pouring smoke out of the back of the thing. And I was like, how much power were you running on? He was like, not that much, man. I don't think. And yeah, apparently somebody had been messing with his station and turned his amp on, and so he's running like 500 watts on FT8, and so the antenna's fried. So then the radio's fried, and he sent it off to Yaesu, and they're like, "Yeah, man, what did you do to this radio?" He's like, "I don't know, man. I took it out of the box, and it was like this." So they're gonna send him a new radio.
Yeah, because
It was
somebody messed with this stuff.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah.
I got it like this. I took it fresh out of the box and it smelled like burnt hot dogs. I don't know what the fuck.
Bastards at HRO sold me a bad radio. I don't know what to tell you. Steven, you driving down to Huntsville from Knoxville?
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be up on camping on Monte Santo. We'll have my camper and my friend Greg will have his. We're gonna have dipoles strung up between the two of them.
Ooh. Last year I went down and met Jake down there and DJ, and we walked around for a little while, and then we split and came back, because that's a long day driving down there, and it's right at 4 hours down there, I think.
Yeah, I always camp and spend the night up there. I
We'll
don't go to shop at the Hamfest. I could care less about that, but I go to drink whiskey around a campfire with a bunch of dudes. That's what I go to do.
Sounds pretty gay.
It's only gay if it becomes a circle jerk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess it depends on which whiskey. That's the
I don't know. Usually I bring like a good bottle of bourbon. Somebody will bring a good bottle of scotch, and we'll just pass them around till they're empty.
The fun part about going down there is, 1, looking around at everything, but 2, going over to Gigaparts and seeing what they have on sale.
Yeah, I'll go to the convention hall to like buy what I need to buy. And so it's like, okay, I know I need to buy these things, and I'll go in there and buy them and get out of there. And then the people that I want to hang out with are all up at the Monte Santo with us, and we just sit around and talk radios and drink whiskey. Got too drunk during a POTA activation one year. My words started slurring, and I was like, I guess it's time to turn this thing off.
Nothing like drunk radio, right? That's the highlights of 7200.
I thought 7200 had sort of died down, and I turned it on the other day. Nope, they're
No,
back.
That's how 75 meters around here is, man. They're just like, I don't know. They'll get into some like weird conversations about just like, I'm like, what the fuck's going through y'all's head? It's like nothing. It's like a hamster wheel up there.
Yeah, there's definitely there's a couple of frequencies on 40 meters as well that there's no call signs. It's just bedlam.
yeah. Well, here on the
these dudes on
here on the
75 meters, the other night we're talking about like if I identify as a dog, can I legally identify in barks? And they were like, well, Part 97 doesn't say anything about it. And I was like, where the hell are we going with this conversation, man? This is getting weird now.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of lucky, you know, on the east of the Mississippi, because West Coast here, the top half of the 40 meter voice is covered up by like Korean broadcast, all just tons and tons of AM stations. Yeah, right as the sun goes down, they all kick on. It's like, fuck, man. So we're all chunked into this small spot of, you know.
But y'all have a lot better HF nets and stuff on the right side of the U.S. than we do over here.
Say hi. Hi.
The right side, yeah. The correct side.
We no. There's like 3 HF nets that I used to love checking into, but now the propagation is just not there, and I can't get them, and they're all like in like Washington State, so I can't hear them anymore. It's kind of sad, but all we get on the East Coast is that stupid maritime mobile net all the time.
That's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And those guys, I don't know, they want to be treated that way, like everybody respects that, you know, like those nets take place.
Yeah.
But nobody fucking respects their nets because they're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, I pretty much hang out on the CW for that reason.
Are you talking about like the O Miss and the YLs and all them?
Yeah,
they're
so
assholes?
those are no. So those nets are good, right?
Yeah.
And people respect those nets. Right. But people respect those nets.
Yeah.
Because those guys are nice. And like if say they were getting ready to start, right? And there's a POTA station on that frequency, like they're gonna be nice about it.
Yeah.
They're gonna ask first if the person will move. If not, then they'll shift.
They'll move the net, yeah.
Right? Like but it's funny that the maritime mobile guys they want to be treated that way, but they're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, go operate a POTA station on 14300 at any time of the day, and they're gonna come back and just be dickheads for no reason. Oh, we got a net going on in 4 hours. Well, guy, I need 10 contacts. It'll take me 20 minutes. Like,
Sorry, we were talking about HF nets.
A whole lot of those assholes on the CW side, man. It's like if you go down to the CW and like operate down there, I've never met anybody that's like been a total asshole. Like they'll actually listen before they call CQ, and if they hear you in there and they have to slow down for you or something, they're generally pretty cool. You don't really have the same problems you do up on the voice side.
Dude, I want to. Oh my God, I want to learn CW so much. Because I mean, if you got a super compromised antenna, all that stuff, right? Little dits and dahs fucking make it every time. Especially, I train my soldiers that way too. I'm like, hey, I'll open up like a web SDR. We're like doing our little 20-watt man pack type shit. I have them build like some resonant dipole. And I'll pull up from here in California, I'll pull up a SDR in Texas. I'll pull up a SDR in Florida. I'll pull up an SDR up in Maine, right?
Yeah.
And then Washington State, and then we'll, 20 meters or whatever. And we'll see if we can hear our little 20-watt station. And they're like, every single time, I'll get my call sign over, playing on the handbands. But they're like, "Oh yeah, that was scratchy, Sergeant. That was scratchy." Right? I was like, "Well, watch this." And I'll switch over to CW, right? Key a few times, and they're like, "Oh, that's fucking crystal clear." Like, see, that's it, dude. That's why we've won fucking world wars on this shit, man. Dits and das. Like,
does the Army not teach it anymore?
No, they don't even teach it at 18 Echo school anymore. It's not required.
I know the Air Force still does, because we got a girl in our local club that's like commo in the Air Force, and she's like, she doesn't know how to send, but she's like was taught to receive it. And so she's pretty good at receiving CW, but she can't send it at all. So we're trying to teach her how to actually send CW. But I don't know what she does commo was. I don't know, but she does something commo in the Air Force. And she said they still teach it down at Goodfellow Air Force Base.
Oh, so this is the Republican convention tonight?
It's the final day of it. And he's fixing to start talking. So how did the Marines do with the dipole yesterday with no base?
I haven't heard them on the radio yet today, and I can literally stand at the base of my antenna and see theirs. So
it's like our refueling dudes that grab the Motorola HTs by the antenna, and like it's all like bent, and they're like, "Why the hell is my radio not working, man? Every time I key up, all I do is get like a beep." It's like, yeah, man. It's like,
dude, I'm so glad you brought that up, man. The Marines are on their kind of their own little fob type thing here, right? And every time I walk in, I'm wearing a different uniform than they are, so they're like, "Hey, who are you here to talk to?" Gunnery Sergeant Benjamin or whatever. And these goofy goobers, man, they have these little LMRs, right? And they turn them sideways. There you go. They go, whoop, they turn them sideways, and they're trying to talk like this, like they're cool guys. And I'm like,
but it makes the antenna work better.
Yeah, but I can hear, because they're on a little repeater system, but I can hear the repeater chirp back for the P25, constant roll. I was like, "Hey, bud, let me show you something. Turn it this way, because that's where you're talking."
Yeah.
He's like, "I pointed like this, like a laser." No, cheese dick, straight up and down.
I don't remember ever having any radio problems out there, man. I feel like when I was in the box and we were on Singars, but anytime I needed to call in a medevac or anything, it was like I had no problems at all getting out. And this was from like a Humvee mounted like Singars radio, so
yep,
it worked really well.
No, it's not. It really isn't not a problem. Fuck, man, I can do it all. I've done talk across the box on 1 watt, right? On from a Humvee to an OE254, or whatever, or Manpack, Manpack 1 watt to an OE254, mountaintop retrans, all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, it's fucking user error every single time. Nobody understands it. Nobody really applies the radio as a system.
No.
To the effectiveness of what they're trying to do, right? And because they always say, your M4 is a weapon system.
Right.
A weapon system, right? All of the parts have to work in order for it to fucking effectively, accurately do its job. And I'm like, hey, man, every single time I meet someone who seems like they need a little bit of knowledge spit at them, I'm like, look, from the tip of that antenna all the way down to the fucking end of that button on that ham mic, all of that has to work.
Yeah, it's a system, yeah.
And they're like, you mean it's not a walkie-talkie? No, dude. Not quite.
Yeah.
It's almost there.
Just a little better.
That's why I try not to play radio on the bases and set up antennas and shit, because I don't want the damn platoon sergeant to be like, "Hey, Chief, that guy knows radios. He's our new radio man." Like, No, fuck you.
Oh, yeah, you're trying to dodging that shit. Yeah, no,
I'm like,
I fucked up. I fucked up, dude. I'm the guy. They're like, fuck, go look for this fucker.
yeah, the radios don't work. I'm like, Top, I don't know why it's not working. Like, I know why it's not working. I ain't saying shit. Better call Commo. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Meanwhile, the coax is just like laying on the ground, not plugged into anything.
Wait, what is Dana White doing at the Republican convention?
Oh, he's a big time Trump supporter.
No, I get that, but like, they need to bring entertainers in and these other type of influencers.
They brought Hulk Hogan in. Hulk Hogan spoke tonight.
Fucking old Terry.
Yeah. Calling everybody Trumpomaniacs.
Yeah. Trumpomaniacs. All right. What was that, Macho Man, Randy Savage, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Rage Brothers.
That's when wrestling was entertaining. Like Roddy Piper.
Oh, Ric Flair. I missed that dude. You know what? I thought he was a fucking chode when I was a
Sergeant
young
Slaughter.
man. Right, but then he ended up being a fucking legend. I'm a Mick Foley Mankind era.
Oh yeah.
That was my wrestling, like, little snapshot. Right, Sting, right, the MWO, that type of stuff.
Mick Foley would he wrecked his damn body to entertain us, and you got to respect the hell out of that, man. I mean, dude, jumped off a damn Hell in a Cell cage and like fucked himself up for our entertainment. So
it took me years to figure out that Mankind was Mick Foley and Mancow.
Yeah.
Dude, love.
Mm-hmm.
Now the only time I see Mick Foley is on Robot Wars, or the Battle Bots. That's what it is. Yeah.
Is he doing
He's
that
on
now?
there.
Yeah, he hosts Battle Bots, man.
Oh wow.
No shit.
Yeah.
There's a BattleBot arena over here in Vegas.
Dude,
I
you
thought,
should go see that shit live.
Yeah, man, I'm thinking about doing that. I think that would be the next cool thing that next time we visit Vegas, man. Because every time we got the damn kids, so that I don't get to enjoy the speakeasy down at the Mob Museum. Right? I have to go walk around with my kid who loves to fucking read the whole fucking museum. Like, come on, dude.
That's good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But what did we do? We did one of those. What were they called? Like medieval nights type thing.
Oh, did you go to the medieval theater?
Yeah. Well, the dinner and the show type thing, right?
Yes.
Horses, dude.
I love it.
You know what's fucking crazy is the
three
theater,
times. I love it.
Dude, the theater, it wasn't really packed at all, right? I mean, we had our different countries and stuff, right? Our country, the loudest, drunkest motherfuckers on the planet. We're fucking, yeah, viva la Danovia, fucking. Just, it was great, man.
Yeah, when we went to Orlando 3 years in a row, and so that was my thing. Was I dragged everybody to medieval theater.
I just think it's kind of cool that you're sitting down for dinner or show, but the concept of dividing your audience into teams, right? They have no idea. They've never fucking met each other, right? There's just some drunk asshole eating a fucking turkey leg right next to another drunk asshole who never met that dude in their entire life, but somehow they're sitting next to each other, screaming their fucking heads off, right? Chanting for this fucking goon that's on horseback because they had a pretty girl that walked up in front of them.
Yeah.
That's fucking glorious. That's
and then of course it makes you want to be the guy on the horse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like, dude, let me go out there. I'll fight that fucking night.
We've got Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge just up the road, and they've got a couple of those up there, Dolly Stampede and several other shows like that, and never been. Never done one of those.
Back when the Dolly Stampede was the Dixie Stampede, it was pretty cool, man. It was all right. I mean, I was young at the time. Hell, I was probably 10 or 11 when we went to it, but I mean, it was like half the arena was like the Union, the other half was the Confederates, and it was kind of the same thing. Like, you had a bunch of like drunk ass tourists from like New York City who were like cheering for the Confederates. So I was like, this is wild, man.
Yeah, the South will rise again.
Like a thick Bostonian accent. It's like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
right on.
Yankee son of a bitch. It doesn't matter. We're all fucking plastered.
Dude, my damn like wingman in flight school was like 18 years old. Like, it was like a PFC when he got picked up to fly, and I'm like 31, and I'm climbing up off the helicopter, and I've got bad knees and shit, man. So like my knees are popping and cracking, and my back's hurting. And he was like, "Jesus Christ, Grandpa! Like, what the hell is your problem?" I'm like, "Dude, I've been in the Army 13 years. Like, my knees hurt." And he's like, "Yeah, but you're only 30. I'm like, "Yeah, when you're 30 years old and 13 years in the Army, your knees are gonna hurt too, fucker. I promise." Yeah. I said, I'm ready for a nap.
Yeah, we'll wait till you're out a few years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking to Junior earlier, and I was telling him about Brady, and I was like, "Yeah, met Brady the other day, and it was kind of cool. Here's the story, and he's doing this and that." And he's like, "Oh, you want to mess with him? Ask him why he's not a Chinook pilot."
Because I went National Guard, so I wouldn't have to put up with the activity lifestyle. And they asked me, like, "Do you want to fly Blackhawks? Or you want to fly Chinooks?" And I was like, "I want to fly Chinooks." They're like, well, "Cool, you're flying Blackhawks." If I had said Blackhawks, they'd have given me Chinooks.
I mean, smart thinking, I guess, but it could have backfired, and they give you Chinooks anyway.
So I'm actually glad I'm not, man. So I don't know somehow National Guard Bureau got screwed up with like the slots and the numbers, and they sent too many Guard Chinook pilots here at one time, and they don't have enough like slots for them. So these guys they're going through and like primary and getting primary, and then they've got it's like up to like a 9.5 month hold before they ever start the Chinook course. So they end up being at flight school for almost 3 years. And your time and grade for W-2 doesn't even start till the day you graduate flight school. So like these guys should be like CW2s, like pilot in command, in 3 years, and they're just getting out of flight school. So it's like hurting their progression bad.
The text message monster has got me. I have now turned into a pumpkin. I have to go back to work. Yeah, boys. It's been real fun talking, and hopefully I'm a little bit more cheery next time.
All the wishes.
Hopefully we'll have a West Coast champion on the next HF competition.
Some of the best conversations we've had are about shitty days, and so
True.
I appreciate you being here, and best of luck.
It's all good. All right, guys. I'll see you.
See ya.
You know?
Later.
But Paul, you still got kids that are under 18.
Yep, my youngest is going to be 14 here in a couple weeks.
So hypothetically, your kid goes out and shoots somebody with one of your guns. Who do they hold accountable? Not only do they hold you accountable, or not only do they tell you, but they hold you accountable. But yet, if he wants to be a girl, then they're want to keep that from you. That makes no sense.
Oh, and not only if he wanted to be a girl, but if he wanted to be a furry in school.
Oh,
or
yeah, I forgot about all that bullshit.
Any of these other absurdities.
Meow.
Right? I don't understand 99% of the fucking insanity that is today. Well, no, all right, I'll take that back. I do understand why. And I'll put that on my generation, which is the upper millennial into Gen X. We figured out that religion was a fucking scam. And so most of us that grew up religious and we went to church every fucking Sunday because that's what our parents did, right? And so along with that went all the morality. We've brought that into society now. You get the fucking internet, which you got everything at your fingertips. There's no morality, there's no common sense, there's no fucking sense of decency. Everything should be accepted and okay. And I disagree. I think we had it right fucking 40 years ago when there was a sense of morality and a sense of decency, and there was a lot of things that you just didn't do in fucking public.
I take my religion seriously, and my guns.
I believe that people need to have faith in something. My issue is with the organization of religion itself. Because if you truly look at it, it's all a fucking scam. It's all about power and money.
But you don't really have to. I don't know. My thought process is I don't really have to have like a church or a damn congregation to like have my own faith or like you know what I'm saying. Like I don't see to me I don't see the purpose of going there. Like I can have my own beliefs and feel close with a deity without having to go like pay my 10% to the damn offering plate at a congregation, you know. And that's
Exactly.
yeah.
But you're still guided by the morality of knowing, like, all right, this is what is right and this is what is wrong. And you know, I mean, like the 10 Commandments aren't a bad thing. It's a pretty good outline of like shit you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I grew up Roman Catholic, and you know, the Catholic Church has its faults, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I definitely have my own beliefs. You know, when we die, right? Our matter, what is us, can never be destroyed. So it just becomes other things. And that's just the circle of life. Like we exist always in some way.
Yeah, I mean, science can tell you that. I mean, matter cannot be created or destroyed; it can only be transferred from one form to another. So, you know, that's. I mean, that's that's a pretty good way of looking at it.
I don't know. I was raised Southern Baptist, and still believe all of that.
Now, all right. So I won't get too deep into this if you don't want to. But I don't know that you know the Bible was divine inspiration, but I do believe that it was some semblance of a historical account of events that took place.
All the way up until you had the King of England that decided to rewrite the books and the scrolls to suit his narrative. Once you get the King James version and some of the other newer translations that aren't necessarily accurate or omit things, then that's a human with an agenda.
100%. So what's the version you recommend?
Mine is an NIV, New International Version.
No, we've gone off on a ideological and religious conversation.
Yeah, man. I wasn't mentally prepared to have the old psychology, like philosophy thing going on there.
But so I got to say though that like that is one of the most amazing things about this group, and why I wanted to start recording some of these conversations, because sometimes we go off on a rabbit hole, and it's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
You know, and it might spark a conversation somewhere else. So I got out in 2004. And since then, I've gone to lots of group therapy sessions, and it reminds me of that same kind of vibe that I had, you know, where I got to talk to guys that, you know, may not have been where I was, you know, but they were in similar places, whether it was World War II, Korea, Vietnam, you know, Iraq, Afghanistan, it didn't matter. We all had something in common. That's why I like this. You know, I don't care if we go down a philosophical, ideological, theological conversation. It's just it's good to have these talks.
It is, and we definitely need to. We've talked about it, and it's in the group chats and stuff like that, or the voice chats in our Discord channel. Um, throw a shameless plug or something in there, Paul, for our Discord channel.
I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, there we go. PTSD and coping with things and talking and peer-to-peer counseling is one of the better helps, I guess you could say, for PTSD. And finding other people that have been through the same type of trauma or similar trauma, because each trauma affects each person differently. I'm Gen X, and my generation and the ones before me, fuck that shit, man. Suck it up.
Drive
Internalize
on.
that shit, rub some dirt on it, and move on.
Yep.
Um, but we learn that you do need to talk about it, and you do need. It is okay to show emotion. When you show emotion and where you show emotion are different and important things, but there is a time for that, and grieving about things that happened and shitty events that we didn't have control over that we were part of, there's a need for that. And we we have planned to do a PTSD episode. I know you and I have talked about it a couple of times.
Yep.
We just got to get some more people in here to do a good PTSD episode.
And honestly, you know what? It's going to happen the same way as this episode and episode 1. You know, we're gonna have a conversation. It's gonna be a little bit raw. I truly feel like I don't have a lot of people that I can truly talk to. You know, and I go to therapy every week. I go see my therapist 9 a.m. Monday morning every week, and she's a vet too. You know, and it's nice that like she actually kind of encouraged this, and she listens when I have shit to talk about. But sometimes I don't want a therapist answer, you know, even though she's a vet, like she's still a therapist. Like sometimes I don't want a therapist answer. I want a real answer from the boys, you know, especially like when I'm dealing with my kid. God, he's really testing me these last couple weeks.
Yes, he is.
Like, oh, so my oldest is 21, and I did everything wrong raising her. I admit it, like fully. I did everything wrong raising her, but I always tried to do what was right. I always tried to teach her right from wrong. I wanted her to be independent and successful. She's independent, you know. I haven't heard from her in several months, and it's hard. It's trying. A lot of times, like I'll sit in the Discord and I'll talk to Cody, you know, super late at night, and we'll talk about things like that, like you know, me and my kids and how I feel the difference between them and how I parent them different, and no, I'm just I'm grateful for this group, and I appreciate Brady joining us tonight.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't even know this was going on. I just kind of.
We're talking about PTSD, and he's over here dot dot did it dot dot did it dot dot dot. Fuck you dot 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 dot.
No, I didn't even know this was going on, and then
Damn National Guard, I tell you.
I just happened to pop into the Discord and saw it, man. So I'm thanks for having me in here.
Yeah, no, I'm glad because you
Yes.
know sometimes it's just me, Steven, Cody, and Robert. And there's other opinions than just ours. And I'll just say, hey, I appreciate anybody that stuck with us through all this, and I appreciate the good conversation. Appreciate you joining us, Brady, Steven, and Cody was with us earlier. It's always good to have him. And so once again, this will wrap a Weekend Warriors episode, and hope to see you again on the next one.
Like and subscribe.